We are ready now to take our very first speed trail. We're going to zip straight ahead of us down the far end of this waterway. So get a grip on any loose items you have, my friends. We're going to speed things up right now. Here we go, everybody.
It's going fast. Ready? Here, Gator.
Time to start making use of our flat-bottom boat. Because we got this kind of boat, we can get into the shallow territories where regular boats can't go. Time to get out of this deep water. Time to start getting into the shallow water. Here we go, everybody. Shallows. We're only floating in a few feet of water right now. Feel free, stick your head out the side and try to see the bottom if you'd like. You're gonna find it's pretty murky down there, my friends. Any other regular boat trying to follow us back here will be stuck in the mud on the bottom. Regular boats can't get back here in the shallows. Only flat bottom boats like us. That most of you are visiting us from out of town. The Everglades is not a swamp, and it's not a bayou. It's actually one of the world's largest, slowest moving rivers. Starts way up north in a big lake called Lake Okeechobee, and it empties out down south of the Florida Keys into the Atlantic Ocean. It's about 100 miles long, about 50 miles wide, and it takes up about 5,000 square miles. But as I said, my friends, this is a very slow-moving river, and it only flows about a quarter mile a day. That's it, just a quarter mile only. Some of the trees around us, you're probably going to see some vultures in some of these trees. Those big black birds, they're vultures. They're the most common birds in the Everglades. You only might see a handful of them right now. They don't typically start to roost until sundown.
Well, there's one right there. There's a big black vulture.
Yeah.
Those are the
I
ones.
see a handful in this tree over here on the left.
But there's one on the
I
ground.
see one or two of them down low on the ground.
Ooh,
Say a quick hello, I'll spin the boat around.
they're psycho. I'm serious.
Wow.
The Everglades needs the vultures. They're very important to our ecosystem out here, guys. Simply stated, they help keep the Everglades clean. The vultures eat the stuff that no one else wants to eat.
Yeah. Right
That's
there.
why we need them so much. The vultures weren't out here doing their thing,
3,
the
4.
Everglades would be full of stinking, rotting
So look
carcasses.
how close that one is.
See about 4 or 5 of them in some of those low branches. See about maybe 2 or 3 of them down low on the ground.
I like that noise he makes. Every time he talks, he goes at the end.
There are 2 species of vultures out here. Some have
They're red there.
blackheads, some have redheads. They're the North American black vulture. My friends, big alligators like this guy, big gators like this, they got 80 teeth. 80 teeth in that big mouth.
He's not scared.
40
He's
teeth on top, 40 teeth on the bottom.
Don't jump.
Here we go. Ready?
All right, my friends. You see the view off the left-hand side? Left-hand side. Whoa, 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 whoa! Forget it, guys. I was about to give a speech about something, but Forget about my speech. It's not important. We've got a visitor. We've got a full-size alligator heading in our direction.
Yes, yes, yes.
That trumps it all. We gotta go say hello. Hold on, guys.
Hi, friends.
My friends on the left, you can probably see them already. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna spin this boat around. We are all gonna get a look.
Hi, baby.
It's a baby. Wow.
Hell to the no.
Be careful, my friend.
No, I don't like it.
Right inside.
I'll get on top of this thing real quick.
Full-size alligator.
It's over there.
Check him out.
When the fish jumped at the same time scared me. Oh, love.
Hey, girl. Hi.
Wesh Magal.
I can't get too close, guys. If we run up on that mud patch, we are gonna be stuck. And I mean stuck. And then the fun is over.
Oh, it must be over here somewhere.
All right, left hand
Careful.
side, friends. Start looking out. Looking out our 9 o'clock position.
Oh, it's right there, baby.
There's a mud patch right next to us. And there's a gator camped out right in the middle of it.
See it?
Yeah.
I want to spin for you guys on the right, but be advised, right hand. friends, you're going to hear a lot of stuff about alligators at the Gator Show. The main thing you got to know about alligators. Alligators are nocturnal. They're nocturnal animals. They're up and active all night long. At night times when they come to the surface to prowl, to hunt, and to feed. They are night feeders. During the daytime, most of them, not all of them, but most of them sleep. They sleep under the water, or up on the grass, or even up on the mud, like that guy we saw before. We only see some of them swimming around during the daytime. Not a lot of people know that. The ones we see swimming around during the daytime, we call them night owls. For an alligator, this is their we're going to speed things up around here. Get a grip, my friends. Here we go, everybody. Those small little bass boats that we passed, not supposed to be back here. Canal out here, keep your eyes up on the banks. If we get lucky and catch a gator in the canal, we usually see them up on the banks. That's where I'm going to be looking. That's where you want to be looking. I'm going to put down this for just a little bit, then we got to turn around. We are almost out of time. Here's appears to me that the Everglades is probably going to take its time waking up today with this kind of weather. heading back towards the dock. We are just about out of time. You gotta squeeze through the rest of this canal. When you get back to the dock, you're all going to the gator show next. You'll enjoy it. There's about 15 gators in their big gator pit, about 20 minutes long. They do a really cool presentation about alligators. At the end of the gator show, do yourself a favor. Ask to take a photo. You can take a photo holding a baby gator. She's in a beautiful, adorable female little gator. That's coming up next.
Very impressive alligator, but unfortunately I'm not using him for your show based on the simple fact of I can't really move him. He's kind of big, but he is a very impressive animal. Now, being that he is the largest alligator in here, he's also the dominant male in the enclosure until I walk through that door. There's a lot of bad jokes here. You gotta work with me, guys. Jokes are going downhill. Now, being that he is so large, a lot of people often ask, how old is he, or how old are any of the alligators in here? And there's actually no way to tell the age of an alligator just by simply looking. There's no external characteristics, no measurement you can take, nothing like that. You can't tell by looking. So that's why we just simply cut them in half and count the rings. Roll the jokes, guys. But in all seriousness, though, there really is no way to tell their age. See, their size depends upon their diet and environmental factors, not on how old they are. So let's say you had two baby alligators. If you feed one of those baby gators a ton of food more than the other one, it can literally grow to be twice the size of its sibling in the same amount of time. If we did that same experiment with two human kids, you're not going to get a kid who's 6'7" in 3rd grade. But the alligator will actually grow larger. So you take a look at one of these guys, they could be 25, they could be 75. You'd have no way of knowing just by looking. Then some records in captivity claim to have alligators over 100 years old. So very long-lived animals. Now in here, we mostly feed our alligators raw chicken and other kinds of meat, but in the wild, these are opportunistic hunters. They like to eat things like raccoons, turtles, fish, birds, and of course their favorite, tourists. Getting up close, they don't usually attack people. In fact, attacks on humans are extremely rare. Alright, I know everyone thinks they're out to get you, but let's do the math here. We have over 2 million alligators in the state of Florida. If they really wanted to eat people, you'd have people dying every single day. Instead, we have more people killed annually by vending machines than by alligators. Think about that for a minute there. That means every single year, more people get angry, they can't get a candy bar, they shake the machine that falls and crushes them more often than people get attacked by one of those things. Really says a lot about both of our species right there. Now for your show, we are going to go ahead and grab one of these guys up and out of here. Let's see. Well, actually, before I grab one, anyone else want to come in? The water's nice.
No.
Look at how you guys don't want to come in. You're looking at the water, you see the yellow color, and y'all think it's alligator pee, don't you? I get it all day long. People like, look, it's yellow, it's gator pee. It's not gator pee. It's Gatorade. We do actually drain and clean this pond out every single day. We're going to kill the water out, spray it, scrub it down, refill with clean water. But the water that we use is well water, so it doesn't have a yellow color to it, although it is actually clean. Now, like I said, we do rotate them all through, so everyone's looking for a particular individual. So I'm going to grab hold of this guy, hold him up front, so everyone's going to be able to see. Come here, big guy. Let's go.
Damn, I wonder how heavy it is. Whoa!
Yeah. Alright, now usually when I pick up an alligator that's like as big as I am, people like clap, cheers, everybody out there. Yeah. It's a live show, back in live audience. It's not going to be over 8 feet long, it's over 100 pounds, guys, in the picture. Do me a favor, hurry up!
Heavy.
Yeah. So we're going to bring him right back over here and set him down in the sand nice and gently. Now let's go ahead and grab a hold of these jaws. Alright. Relax, big guy. Easy. Okay. Alright. Relax, buddy. Calm down. Okay. Relax, buddy. I know it's early for you. Come on, you've been sleeping all morning. It's time to wake up. Oh. Alright, so take a look inside the alligator's mouth. You will actually see 80 teeth in there. And there are 40 teeth on the top and 40 teeth on the bottom. And they can actually break their teeth off, they grow them back, and they cycle through several thousand teeth in their lifetime. Now that does come in handy because of how hard that gator can bite down. A large alligator can close its jaws with an entire ton of force within that mouth. 2,000 pounds per square inch power.
2,000. Wow.
Y'all do not seem impressed with that number.
Whoa.
Think about that. 2,000 pounds is enough power to easily snap any bone in your weak, fragile human bodies and literally flatten your skull. If you're not impressed by this, it is because y'all are on the wrong side of the glass. Now, even though they can bite down so hard, you can actually hold their jaws shut with just your bare hands, as you can see me doing here. All that power is for closing, very little for actually opening. So remember, if you're ever about to be attacked by an alligator, don't run away, just turn around, grab the jaws, and you'll do great. Definitely kidding. Run for your life there, guys. But we have all of these alligators in here for a reason, though. We are actually an alligator rescue, and these are all considered to be nuisance alligators. Now, a nuisance alligator is one that showed up in somebody's backyard, got in their swimming pool, he ate Fluffy, something like that. Now, once an alligator does eat somebody's dog, the state is going to send out a trapper to capture and kill the alligator, unless the dog he ate was a Pomeranian, and they just let him go and continue to good work. Unfortunately, though, the state of Florida does kill several thousand of our nuisance alligators every year, and that is really sad because it's not the alligator's fault. It's usually a nuisance person who caused the problem, and by that I mean people who feed them. See, once you feed him, three things happen. 1, he learns to associate you with the food. 2, you don't have the food. 3, you are the food. And that's why it's against the law to feed them. So what we're doing here, we do our shows with these nuisance alligators instead of him being turned into a handbag, which you appreciate that, right, big guy? Yes. That's why we're considered an alligator rescue, because every single alligator that you see in here would have sadly been destroyed if they were not here with us. Now, the state of Florida does not allow the release or relocation of nuisance alligators due to the alligator's homing ability. And what that means, even if you took this guy 100 miles away to let him go, you give him a few months, he'll go back to the exact same backyard he was caught from.
Wow.
They have incredible homing ability, and that's why they're recognized as such amazing navigators. Let's do that in a few minutes, don't worry. Alligator wrestling, it's not like wrestling in the ring. I do not hurt, headlock, or body slam the alligator. It's actually techniques used by the native tribes of Florida, and one of the maneuvers they would use is holding your jaws of the alligator shut between your chin and your chest, allowing your hands to be free to take out a rope and then tie the jaws shut, which sounds like a horrible, dangerous idea, so I'm going to demonstrate it. That does make pretty cool looking photos, so I'll give you guys a thumbs up like this, or if it does go horribly wrong, get my arm ripped off and I'm bleeding everywhere, I'll give you a thumbs down, okay? Okay. Alright, don't worry in that scenario, just switch your camera from photo to video. Alright. So come here, big guy. Relax.
Oh my gosh.
Alright, so that's how they actually pull that off. Now I know what you guys are probably wondering why isn't this alligator more aggressive? Why aren't all these other ones coming over to attack and eat me? How am I still alive? And why do you guys look so disappointed I'm still alive? Now, when you first come into the wild, they are extremely defensive, and he's literally going to try to kill me because he thinks I'm going to kill him and he's afraid of me. Now, once they learn, we're not going to hurt him. We do an animal-friendly show. He's much more calm, relaxed, and as you can see, basically tolerates what I'm doing right now because he knows that I'm not going to hurt him. Now, they also know, very importantly, that if any of them come over here to mess with me, I just make that guy do the show instead. Yo, where I'm going there. My workday is normally 12 to 15 shows a day, so I work with every single alligator in here. That's why when you see me walking around, I step right next to them, they kind of keep their heads down. They're like, don't pick me, don't pick me! Now, does that mean these alligators are tamed and trained then? See my friend, can I trust him? No! This is an alligator, it's not a Labrador. There's no bond, there's no friendship, make no doubt about it. If I get tripped and fall in there, my hand slips, I do something wrong, this alligator and every other alligator in here absolutely would rip my hand off, there's no doubt about it. And usually about once a day, as I'm walking around in here, I will get one of them come creeping up, and they will try to bite you if you're not paying attention. If you were surprised by this, let me remind you that this is an alligator. Alright? They do that. He's not my pet, he's not my friend, I love him, but he doesn't love me. And yes, they do bite. In fact, this individual right here actually did bite my boss once before. Like, for real, that's not a joke or a punchline. But it is why he's my favorite. Who's a good boy? Now, I do have one more trick to show you guys, but before I do it, I do want to tell you a little bit about myself, too, so you don't think I am completely insane. I see the stairs out there. I actually have a bachelor's degree in finance and international business from a college in New York. Yep, doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. Over my entire college career, all I really wanted to do was get out of the Shark Tank and into the Gator Pit. Now, phrase that you should live by is live your dreams and follow your passion. For my entire life, I've been passionate about reptiles and especially alligators, and it has been a dream of mine to be an alligator wrestler ever since I was a little kid. So I'm extremely fortunate to be given this opportunity, and I encourage everybody out there to pursue your wildest dreams, because you never know, they might just come true. Now, that being said, the only way that I'm able to continue to do this job full-time is through the generous donations of the people in my audience. That's you guys. Now, understand that I am a volunteer and not an employee of the park due to liability and insurance. Liability, all right? I think you do the math on this one. It does tend to be a little bit dangerous. So at the end of the show, you like the show, you learn about alligators, and like our alligator rescue. I do greatly appreciate anything that goes into my little tip jar down there. That is my life insurance policy, and it's also how I make a living. And that's also what enables our alligator rescue function, and what allows us to continue to go out and rescue more of these beautiful and magnificent animals. Now, I do also have to say the not fun part, alright? Do not attempt anything you've seen me doing here today. I know I might make it look pretty easy, pretty safe to be in a pit full of alligators and they handle one, but the reality is, one slip, one wrong move, you can lose life or limb. I feel very fortunate. I've had a lot of close calls, never had a bad accident, but I have had a few friends who did. I had one friend get bit in the hand during a show, gator death rolled, snapped his arm like a twig. Another friend get bit in the upper arm during the show, gator death rolled, ripped the bicep muscle from the bone, ate the chunk of his arm during the show. That was obviously very serious. He almost died from blood loss. But I'm not saying this to be dramatic or to scare you guys. I see that you understand the reality here. I tell a lot of jokes, and then people tend to forget. This is a powerful apex predator that is of our utmost respect. Don't ever approach them, never try this. Now, that being said, take a look around me, alright? These are not aggressive animals. They're not going to come chasing after you. They're not going to hunt you down. If they got anything pretty cute, they pretty much just sleep all day. They're the laziest things on earth.
Yes.
But when people feed them, swim in their habitat, or try to handle them like this, that's exactly when you can get hurt or even killed. So don't do any of those three things and you'll be fine. You leave them alone and they'll leave you alone. Now, on that note of positivity, let's go ahead to the most dangerous part of the show. What could possibly go wrong, right? So the last year and a half, you guys, is called the face-off. It's called the face-off because if I mess it up, my face comes off. You need a dark sense of humor, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the jaws of the alligator. I'm going to set my chin on the end of the open jaw, balancing the jaws over with just my chin. And if anything touches inside the mouth, boom, jaw slam shut. Immediately is a reflex and nothing stops the jaws from closing. So you need to be very careful here. All right, now one last piece of anatomy I want to point out quick. You guys see this fat rolling thing down here? That's not fat, that's the jaw muscle. An alligator can eventually have over 50 pounds of muscle solely dedicated to slamming its jaws shut and then crushing anything that's in between them. So that puts this in perspective a little bit. So now let's give this a shot. Relax, good guy. Easy. Calm down, buddy. mostly want you guys to laugh, have a good time, learn about alligators. It's just one part of the show that is actually extremely dangerous. So before we do it, on a little bit of motivation. You guys are enjoying the show, right? Yeah! I'm just checking. So nice and careful. Relax, big guy.
Whoa.
The alligator just gets up and walks away. He doesn't turn around and come after me. There's no revenge, no hard feelings, and like that. It shows rid of it all. And he's literally gonna lay there and take a nap after all the hard work that he did. So what we're gonna do for you guys now, we're gonna take a baby alligator and some other cool animals you're gonna be able to check out. And then enjoy the show. You wanna write a good review. Again, my name is Kevin. If you did not like the show, my name is Bob. Guys have any questions for me? I'll be standing strategically by my tip jar with a card reader, Venmo, and Cash App. Guys enjoy the show and have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thanks, everyone.
Or maybe he's an old one. Wow, cool.